Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew? It's your boy DJ New here, your girl.
Sierra Nicole.
We're back on the channel with another
Kid and C original.
Well, welcome back to the channel, man. We got a good one for y'all today. We got, first off, let me ask you a question. Because you see the title already. If your parents had enough power that they can possibly be one of the families to rule the world, would you enjoy that? Would you like that to happen? Like,
yes.
Yeah, I would love.
I think I would.
I don't know. It's just
I think I would.
Something sketchy about that. It sounds very greedy to me.
Well, it depends on how you use
power to rule the world. That's greed.
Right, but you don't have to rule it in a greedy way. Maybe like
name one family who would that got that much power that ain't
But you said my family. We got good hearts.
With that being said, man, we got these families secretly rule the world. We were trying to find out what families they talking about. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, before we get into it, make sure you check out the links in the description box down below. You already know where to go if you want to further support the channel. There's always what?
Check out the links down below.
Also, salute to the comment of the day. We highly appreciate every comment we do get. We just trying to shine a spotlight on those who shine a spotlight on us. But with that being said, again, it's these families secretly rule the world. So we want to get into it. We want to check it out. We want to see what it's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? Ready? Steady.
Money, power, and fame have more influence than you think. And it gets a lot more influential when it's not just one or two people, it's a whole family. Hey, when you've got a lot of sway in the goings-on of, well, everything. That's why today we are looking at the most powerful families in the world. Some are superstars, some gained incredible wealth very quickly, and some inherited their massive fortunes. So basically, they were born billionaires. Here's a peek into the families that are secretly ruling the world, whether you want them to or not. First on our list is the Koch family, not to be confused with Coke as in Coca-Cola, although certainly Coca-Cola has a lot of sway too. I mean, all they have to do is threaten to halt production on everyone's favorite caffeinated beverage and caffeine junkies would riot. But we kid. We're talking about Coke as in the Koch brothers and their massive business, Koch Industries. To give you an idea of just how massive we're talking, Koch Industries is the second largest privately owned company in the United States. They rake in a colossal $110 billion every year in revenue. Yeah, this is the big leagues, people. Koch Industries was founded by Fred Koch in 1940, and for years, it was owned by his two sons, David and Charles, known as the Koch brothers. David, who passed away last year at 79 years old, stepped down from his position due to health issues in 2018. But his brother Charles, who is 84, still acts as the CEO to this day. Just what kind of influence does the Koch family have? Well, due to some rather smart acquisitions, including the $22.5 billion purchase of Georgia Pacific in 2005, every time you buy your everyday supplies, you may well be putting money right into the pockets of the Kochs.
Now that's power. No one man should have all that power. Nah. That's crazy though. You must know about this company, Georgia Pacific. How you know about them?
Some of the
Products.
members. Well, no, some of the members work there. Where I work at, some of the patients. Retired.
Bonnie paper towels, Quilted Northern, Dixie cups. These are all just some of the brands underneath the Koch umbrella. But it doesn't stop there. In 2012, they spent $7.5 billion to purchase Molex, an electronic components manufacturer. And in 2014, they partnered with Goldman Sachs to purchase a printing ink manufacturer known as Flint Group for a price tag of $3 billion. The Kochs are well known for donating hundreds of millions of dollars in support of conservative politicians. Ones that limit government, offer free trade and free markets, limit corporate regulations, and offer a more lenient immigration policy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. These guys are literally pulling the strings that guide the United States because they have the money to. Next up, let's talk about one of the most famous billionaires, J.P. Morgan. He was one of the most powerful bankers of his time, up until his death in 1913. But being rich ain't enough to get you on this list, and J.P. Morgan was oh so much more than just rich. Mr. Morgan financed railroads and helped organize U.S. Steel, General Electric, and many more giants in the industry. His father was a wealthy banker as well, but it wasn't until Morgan formed a partnership with Philadelphia banker Anthony Drexel in 1871 and formed J.P. Morgan and Company that he started to get really, really rich.
Everybody know about J.P. Morgan and Company. If you don't, bruh, damn.
Well, this company was the predecessor to J.P. Morgan Chase. He amassed an incredible fortune of $25 billion, and he was sure to use it to tilt the system in his favor. Morgan was a mastermind of the business world and used his incredible influence to help stabilize the American financial markets during the economic scares of his day. Probably his most famous achievement was his ability to stabilize the economy during the Panic of 1907. And let's not forget the time that he saved America's gold standard by loaning the federal government $60 million. But
bro, hold on. That's a whole nother level of rich. You know how rich you gotta be to say, hey, I loan the government money. Bro, they can't never do shit to you, bro. You be like, bro, you came to me.
You came to me.
You came from me. I ain't need you. You needed me.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's Jeff Bezos.
That's crazy.
That's like right up down his alley, bro. Like I can get the United States out of bankruptcy if I wanted to, but I don't even want to. I'm trying to go to space.
It's well documented that Morgan's critics were quick to point out just how much power he had, and they would say that he was manipulating the United States' financial system so that it benefited himself. Hey, in all honesty, they were probably right. Remember how we said he financed railroads? Well, he did that so often and so well that during the late 19th century, Morgan was so involved with consolidating failing railroads that he ended up controlling an estimated 1/6 of the total railroads in America. Yeah, one guy owned 1/6 of all the railroads. On top of that, he was called in to testify by the U.S. Representative Arsene Pujo, who was investigating elite Wall Streeters suspected of colluding to control the American banking industry. The result of these hearings was a little system you may have heard of, called the Federal Reserve. If you still don't think that Morgan had power, well then we don't even know what power is anymore. Here's a family you may be familiar with, due to multiple members being United States presidents. One a vice president, another a TV host, and yet another being a Supreme Court justice. This is the Bush family, the very same family of former President George W. Bush, the inspiration behind the punk rock opera masterpiece by Green Day, American Idiot. Okay, but seriously, this family has a lot of power, which, for starters, is likely due to their net worth of over $400 million. Just how did they collect that much dough? Well, many members of their family were successful bankers and businessmen, which spans back 3 generations. And if you need any more proof that their power runs in the family and runs deep, remember that George H. Bush was a United States president, George W. Bush was a United States president, and Billy Bush was the host of Access Hollywood. Don't remember Billy? We bet you.
You remember Billy?
I don't remember Billy. I ain't watched Access Hollywood like that. I know about it, but
Yeah, I know about it. I ain't watch it like that, but I...
No wonder why everybody pinpointed the scandal they said back when Bush and Al Gore ran for president. And Bush, all of a sudden, it was like overnight. We were kids, I can't remember, but overnight, like Bush won.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, how did, you know what I'm saying? There was the scandal behind the situation. Got a little power behind it. Y'all knew he was going to be president. Come on now.
You just forgot. After all, the infamous tapes of a secret lewd conversation between Donald Trump and Billy Bush made all the headlines in 2016, and it ended up leading to Billy Bush being fired from Access Hollywood. But don't feel too bad. He now works as a correspondent on the show Extra. Oh, and he's also worth $13 million. Yeah, he's doing fine. Up next is the Rothschild family, worth a total of $400 billion. Let that sink in for just a second. Their total worth is $400 billion. All we can say is, wow. They amassed this incredible fortune by creating a banking empire in the 1800s. Hey, are you starting to see a pattern here with all these banking families? Now maybe you know what line of work you should aspire to go into.
Who you talking to? Me? I know, bro.
What can
Bro, how can I get in the banking industry? That's the talking about generational wealth?
Bruh.
All these generational wealth is stem around banking. Wealth, power, and control. They control. You control the money, you control the world. Remember that.
Are spanned through cities like London, Paris, Vienna, and Naples. They are one of the wealthiest and most powerful families in history. Although we should say their sway is far less than what it was in years past, mainly due to their incredible wealth being divided up between the family members. These days, the Rothschild family is still very active in the mining, financial services, agriculture, winemaking, and real estate world. In Europe, some of their incredible palaces and lavish estates still stand to this day, almost like a permanent benchmark to their outrageous fortune. To put $400 billion in perspective, when adjusted for inflation, their private wealth still hasn't been topped by anyone in the world. In fact, if you combined the wealth of Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and Elon Musk, you still wouldn't come close to the Rothschild family. They are about as wealthy as anyone can get. Let's head over to our local Walmart for our next Power Fam. Didn't expect us to say that? Well, maybe you didn't realize just how rich the founders, the Walton family, are, with a net worth of an astounding $169.7 billion. Sam and Bud.
Walmart. That's why they ain't scared no Target, no none of this, bro.
That's
like,
crazy.
what the fuck you got on Walton? We got Sam's.
Sam and Bud.
You gotta think about Sam's Club and Bud. I guess Bud Walton, but I'm just saying because Sam's Club. They said F Costco, F Target. Y'all gotta come together just to even match our energy.
Walton founded Walmart in 1962, and when they found that Walmart was a resounding success, they went ahead and formed Sam's Club in 1983. These days, Walmart's sales top out at $500 billion. That's the highest retail revenue in the world, folks. As for how much power they have, get this. They have political draw on both parties, due to the older members of the family like Jim Walton being stark Republicans. After all, he gave $630,000 to Republicans or Republican affiliates in the 2008 election. And on the flip side, the younger Gen X and millennial members of the Walton family, like Christy Walton, seem to have power in the opposite direction of her elders, due to Christy forming the Lincoln Project, an anti-Trump Republican group. Let's close out our list of families today with one of the most famous fams out there. We are talking, of course, about the Kardashians.
How can I get a part of the Walton family, though? I'm just saying, because to be honest, I really feel like Jeff Bezos can dethrone Walmart. If he, think about it, if Amazon, everything he has in his warehouse, right? If he can open those up and turn it into like a retail store, he can dethrone Walmart. Because I used to work there, and I know what they sell in there. I know. Yeah. It's just everybody don't want to order online. Some people still old-fashioned where they want to go in the store. But if he gave that accessibility for you to be able to come in.
Kind of like Sam's Club.
Yeah, like Sam's Club and Walmart. Like, you can come in and shop.
Membership.
Yeah. Like, you already got Prime membership. You get Bruh.
who have risen to one of the most powerful, famous, and wealthy families on the globe. Kim Kardashian is credited for taking her TV reality series and turning it into a global empire. She is now the star of multiple mobile games, owns her own brand of cosmetics, and most recently has launched her own shapewear business. And it's these beauty products that have catapulted her wealth up and up and up. Her cosmetics company, KKW Beauty, a company worth $1 billion, generated $100 million in revenue in 2019. It seems this family can't be stopped. Kim married superstar Kanye West, worth $1.3 billion himself. And don't forget that her younger half-sister Kylie is worth $1 billion. And her sister Khloe, she's worth an estimated $40 million. And look, you see where we're going with this. They're wealthy and live like it. Kim's monthly beauty expenses come to an average of $168,880. And she and her hubby Kanye recently purchased a $16 million ranch in Cody, Wyoming. Kanye even made sure to introduce himself to the mayor when they moved in. Well, there you have it. A look into the families that, by all accounts, are modern-day royalty. These...
Yo,
That's crazy.
I wonder if she gonna drop the W from her KKW Beauty. He dropped the W from her. I'm just saying, she signed them papers. You don't get my name. Just keep it Kim Kardashian.
Or just KK Beauty. Yeah.
Or let somebody already got their trademark. Like hit you, you want it. $1 billion.
But yeah, that's crazy though.
And then their whole career started off from a sex tape.
She was so irritated. But man.
Should have put out that sex tape.
Okay.
I'm just playing.
Come on. I'm just playing.
No, I'm saying like it's crazy how far they have came just from one situation.
It's like a blessing in disguise, huh?
And then the mama being the brains behind the operation. Like,
okay, I'm not gonna focus on just them. Okay.
The one that's really crazy though was the one that because I can't pronounce their name. The one that's worth $400 billion.
Oh.
They last name was weird.
Yeah. But
them motherfuckers are rich. And the Waltons, I don't think they gonna stop. The only thing the Waltons got to do is kind of how to figure out how. We say how kind of at a point kind of compete with Amazon, but people don't think about going to Walmart.com the same way they think about going to Amazon. Mm-hmm. But soon as they figure out how to transition and compete against Amazon in the same marketplace, Walmart goes.
But even with them not competing, they still are worth way more.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying, like, to beat out the competition. Like, their biggest competition is Amazon.
Well,
especially since now Amazon do same day delivery. That's their biggest competition is Amazon.
I mean, if you say so. I mean, it is, but still, even with them not even... Yeah. It's still surpassing them still. So, I mean...
Man,
I wasn't stressing too much.
But that's crazy, man. Make sure y'all spam us up in the comment section down below. Let us know y'all thoughts and opinions about all this in the comment section down below. But as always, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are
Kid and C.
Yeah, y'all.
Ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partner.